Okay, I've had several requests for a video on how to make a wicking barrel or wicking container for gardening. So I thought I'd make one more here and actually do a video for it. Here in front of you I have the materials that I use. I have a leftover protein tub bin that you use for cattle. This is just scrap after the cattle eat the protein mix out of it. Have a hole drilled roughly 5-6 inches from the bottom for drainage here, you'll see in a minute. A length of PVC pipe, the height of the barrel, a barbed fitting with a electrical nut and an O-ring to seal it off so the water doesn't come out. Some landscape fabric is all this is. A piece of corrugated pipe with a hole fit in it for the PVC, and this is also the perforated corrugated pipe. You can see the perforations in it. You also need some hay or some straw or some other wicking material. I know on YouTube a lot of people use coconut fibers, but here in West Virginia we're not going to find too much coconut fiber laying around, so I use hay. Some play sand, regular old pool play sand, and some potting soil of your choice. I just happen to have this. This is the cheapest stuff I could find. Probably not the best idea, but at the time that's all I could get, so this is what I got. So here we go. I will show you how this all goes together. I've got most of my stuff cut and taken care of so that I can make the video without a tripod or do anything of that nature. So the first thing you're going to do is take your corrugated pipe, put it down in the bottom of the barrel. You want to make it so that their PVC tube, fill tube, is a little ways away from your drain hole. In the drain hole, you're going to place this barbed fitting. Just stick it through the hole like that. On the outside, see if I can do this one-handed. I'm not going to be able to. But on the outside, you're just going to put this other wire nut to secure it in place. And then you take your PVC pipe with one end cut off at an angle so that your water can get out easily when you fill it up. Put that down in the corrugated pipe. Now, I will come back in 1 second after I get that drain tube in place. Okay, I got the drain tube in place now. Looks like that on both sides. You just want to hand tighten that wire, or the electrical conduit nut down. If you go overboard with a pair of pliers or such, you're going to tear up the O-ring. You just need a watertight seal. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's no pressure or anything behind it. But that is going to serve as our drain, so that when we fill up the bottom of the barrel with water, the water can escape and you don't have a big soppy mess of junk that becomes anaerobic, and you have bacteria problems going on and the wrong bacteria in there, and you just have a big mess. So definitely an important step right there with that drain tube. Next thing we're going to do is get the cat off of our landscape fabric, and we're going to place it down into our wicking barrel. I'm just going to kind of come around the sides here, shove it down in place. The whole purpose of this is to keep sand, soil, other materials from going down into around our drain tube or our water pipe. So I will get that fitted in place and put some sand down. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my landscape fabric in place. You want to make a divot down in the center of the pipe where the void is with the fabric, and place sand down inside that and just tamp it down real nice. Get a real good firm tamp on it so that it'll wick up the water exceptionally well. You just want to make sure your landscape fabric comes around the sides and goes down around your pipe so that we don't get sand and soil down the bottom of the barrel. I'm going to go ahead and finish applying the rest of the sand and covering the landscape. Okay, so I got the rest of my sand in place, tamped down firmly, and again the purpose of the sand is to help wick the water up out of the bottom of the basin. One thing, do make sure it is important that you get that landscape fabric on top of your drain tube, because the landscape fabric, if we don't, then the sand is going to foul up the drain tube and clog it up. So as long as we have that landscape fabric on top, we should be in good shape. Next thing I'm going to do is take our hay, and again you can use other things, straw, coconut fibers. I think you could even use shredded paper for this application, but you just want to put this down, and what this does is makes a barrier between your straw or your sand and your soil. It also gives something for your earthworms that you're going to place in here later, some place to get away from the soggy conditions in the soil, and they will eat it up. But if you ever have to tear the barrel apart, then you can easily separate your soil from your sand layer. So that's the purpose of that, and it's going to help to wick, because as we all know, that hay is going to absorb that moisture and it'll just wick it right up into the soil. Okay, next step is to add our soil and our plants. So I will get the soil and the plants added and show you the final product. Okay, so here I have the finished barrel in my greenhouse. You want to make sure when you fill this thing up with your soil that you have it very near where you want to place it for good, because if not, this thing is heavy. That's why I put mine together in a wheelbarrow and then wheeled it over here and got it wrestled into place. But now it's getting dark. I hope the video is still okay. I planted 4 pepper plants in here. These are golden bell peppers. Everything's put together. Last steps are you want to, for the very first time you water it in real good from the top with a sprinkler can or hose, wherever you have. It's important that you get it watered in real good from the top so that the soil, everything gets good moisture contact. The hay, the sand, all gets moist at the same time. And then you're just going to fill up your drain tube or your fill tube with a garden hose or a bucket, whatever you might have. Fill it up, and once you see water start coming out the spout, it's full. And it will stay full for a while. Then you want to take a pop bottle or soda bottle, something, and place over the end of that drain tube, and or your fill tube, I'm sorry. The whole purpose of that being you don't get mosquitoes breeding in there, you don't get any frogs in there, and they do get in easily, so you want to keep them out. Final steps that I will do, I need to get some garden worms, red worms, throw in there, mix them with some soil, maybe put some eggshells, some compost, just to mix it up, just something for the worms to live on. And then I will put grass clippings in on top and mulch the plants with the grass clippings, and then that gives something for the worms to eat and also holds in our moisture. And these barrels will hold water for a long time. Go a week, week and a half without watering at a time, and they do just fine. I have some others here, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see them because it is getting dark, that I planted about a week ago with these pathetic looking plants that I've had sitting in cells, pots for months now, but they are coming along just fine. So there you go. These are wicking barrels. Thanks for watching. Okay, and here we are 6 weeks later with the wicking barrels. It's been exactly 6 weeks since I made those last videos. I'm just going to tack this one on to the end of the final cut since it's taken me so long, but as you can see, got some pretty good growth going on here. 6 weeks worth of growth in the wicking barrels.